In today's video, I'm going to talk about something that has been in my mind for a while now, and I think it's something that everyone has noticed that it exists. It's a question. What happened to 4-star characters? It's been a while that every time there's a new patch, we get our 5-star character, we get our events, we get our free wishes and free jades, but there are no 4 stars for some reason. With every patch, they were giving us a steady flow of 4-star characters, like I just showed you on my inventory. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, nothing for months. I believe the last 4-star character that we got was Mose, who was released around September 2024. So you're telling me it's almost been a year that we haven't had a 4-star character in Star Raid, a new 4-star character. I think we can point out a couple of reasons as to why we haven't had a new 4-star for a while now, and the first of which is financial concerns and reasons. First thing first, all of these characters, it doesn't matter if they're a 4-star character or a 5-star character, it really doesn't matter. All of them need animations and need character models, which I'm not even talking about the in-combat animations, which include basic attack, skill, their ultimate animation. They have a walking animation, they have a running animation. Each one of these characters need 2 different idle animation. They need an animation for their technique. And all of these are different from one another. The problem is, yeah, sure, like 5-star characters and 4-star characters, if you are making a character regardless of how good they are, and regardless of how meta they are or not, they need resources and they need a budget. They consume resources, right? People will spend money on the 5-star characters because they are the meta characters and they need them, right? But 4-star characters, it doesn't really matter. You're going to get your 4-star character anyway. Even if you're pulling for a standard banner, you will get your 4-star regardless. You don't need to pull for a special banner to get them. Usually if you are only pulling for your standard banner, you'll get your 4 stars either way. And they're not making any money, they're not generating any revenue for the company. We're talking about their 3D models, their voice acting in 4 different languages, which are Korean, Chinese, English, and Japanese. We're talking about their testing and their balancing, not to mention their lore and marketing assets, which, by the way, you may not know, but a huge amount of budget for a Honkai Star Rail goes to their marketing team. For example, all the trailers that you see, all those animations that are out there, all the OSTs and the songs, and all the promotions that are behind most of these stories, like Penacony had a ton of promotion behind it, and so on and so forth. It takes up a huge amount of budget. Honkai Star Rail, just like any other one of these gacha games like Genshin Impact, or I don't know, Wuthering Waves, or ZZZ, all of these games are long-term gachas. They might be making some of these 4-star characters for the future contents and planets or expansions. And yes, for the players, such as myself, this feels stale, to be honest. Seeing the same old 4-star characters over and over and over makes banners less exciting. Yeah, sure, everybody is pulling for the 5-star, that is true, but at the same time, whenever there's a new 4-star, you're also kind of looking forward to it. Because, you know, who doesn't like having more characters, right? But at the same time, I would say I'm kind of sick and tired of getting Yukong when I'm pulling for a 5-star, you know? Because I think by now my Yukong is like 12 or 13 or something. The amount of time I've gotten some of these 4-star characters is just insane. We talked about players spending money on their wishes and 5-star characters, but something that doesn't get talked about enough is whales. There is a huge amount of revenue that is being generated because of them. We saw this recently with Riot Games and League of Legends. They released a bunch of skins, and those skins cost around $200 up to $500. They stated that they're specifically targeting whales, also considering the fact that Honkai Star Rail is a free-to-play game just like League of Legends. It is undeniable that there is a huge amount of revenue coming from whales. Whales are important for the survival of these companies. Not saying essential, maybe there are, but they are important. They are a big part of that generated revenue. And 4-star characters, well, none of the whales are going to go for the 4-star characters. They don't need to. Even if you want to flex your characters, you're not going to flex your 4-star character. You are going to flex your 5-star characters and their Eidolon 6 or their light cons and stuff like that. Also, considering the fact that power creep is a real thing in Star Rail, so every time there's a new patch, a new character drops and a bunch of other older characters are power crept. There are a lot of these 5-star characters that got power crept really quickly. So even for the 5-star characters, this is a problem when you are trying to generate money. Like, yeah, sure. Like if I go here right now to see like which characters are making a return, we have Firefly, Jinglu, and Blade. But how many people do you think are spending money on Blade right now compared to Fenion or compared to, I don't know, someone else who's meta right now? Not that many. So even these 5-star characters are not, I don't think they're generating as much money anymore because they've gotten power crept so bad that people don't need them. So when your 5-star characters are getting power crept by new 5-star characters, what, like, do you expect your 4-star characters to even have a chance? Like, even the new players, why would a new player go for a 4-star when there's like a 5-star who's a meta and everybody's talking about them? Another reason as to why this has happened is a lot of people were asking for characters to get buffed due to this very reason, like getting power creep. They were getting power crept by other new 5-star characters. People were complaining that some of these 5-star characters are they are not good enough with the current meta or the current enemies, and they are kind of left behind now. So instead of maybe giving new 4-stars, they focused on buffing these characters, which are it just happened. We got Jinglu got buffed, Blade got buffed, and Silverwolf and Kafka got buffed too. So there were a lot of people who were asking for this, and this might be another reason why instead of making new 4-stars, they focus their budgets and their resources on other areas. Alright, so basically, I don't think MiHoYo is lazy. No, they have amazing stories, their OSTs and songs are great, the trailers are fabulous. I think it's a mix of money, resource management, banner strategies, and long-term planning, which makes sense. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. And I'll see you, boys and gals, in the next one. Peace.